Hello, my name's Brian, and I'm a Glockaholic. Seriously, you know that I like Glock pistols, that I carry Glock pistols. I think they're great designs, and I have several of them. But one thing that I've done to every single pistol that I carry is change the stock sights to XS sights. And you may also know that I like the DXT2 Big Dot XS sights because they're fast, they're the best combat sights on the market for all light conditions, in my opinion. But I've had some people express concerns that they're maybe not inherently as accurate as traditional notch and post sights. Well, let me just say that I scored a Marksman 1 certificate at Gunsight using XS Big Dots. But if somebody's used to traditional notch and post sights and they're doing target shooting, or maybe you're doing some competition and you're in high light conditions, XS Sights has just come out with some brand new fiber optic sights. In today's video, I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to show you how easy they are to install, coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for another video. And as I said, today we're going to take a look at some brand new fiber optic sights from XS Sights, who, by the way, is one of my newest channel sponsors. I'm really thrilled for them to be a sponsor because I've been using their stuff for years. So without any further ado, let me take you down to the old tabletop here, and we'll show you these sights, show you how easy they are to install, and why I think they're cool. Okay, so here are the XS Sights, fiber optic sights for Glock pistols. And as of right now, they just have these available for Glocks. Who knows, they may be coming out with some other models later, but they have two different versions of this, one for full-size Glocks and one for the smaller 43s, 43X, 48s, those. So it's going to come with a rear sight, which is a milled sight. This is not MIM, metal injection molding sight, like most of the other fiber optic sights are. This is a milled sight with a serrated back to cut glare, nice wide notch for quick pickup on the front sight, and then also comes with a front sight, which is a very nice precise dot for better accuracy. And this one, it comes loaded with the green or high-vis green fiber optic tube. It also comes with a spare orange fiber optic tube that you can use to replace this if you don't like this color, or if this one breaks, you'll have a spare. The pistol that we're going to use to demonstrate the installation today is a Glock 22P, which is a non-firing demo model, which I've had a video on this before. You can check that out. But this one has the pretty much Glock standard night sights on it, tritium night sights, and these things are pretty old. They're kind of not. I don't like them. I just don't like them. For me, they're harder to pick up. It's got a very shallow notch. It's just hard to get everything lined up quickly. So anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and see if I can beat the ATF guy. Okay, what do you know? I think I beat him. Take it apart. You can see that it is definitely non-firing. There's not even a firing pin hole on the back of the slide. But that being said, first thing I want to do is take the XS sight tool here and go ahead and remove the front sight. It's got a little nut there. And they have several different sight tools available on their website. If you don't already have one, it shouldn't be that tight because it's just a little tiny nut. But this thing is, who knows who put this on there? Probably some law enforcement armor somewhere. This was definitely a police trade-in. My God, they got that sucker tight too. Man, that sucker was on there. Okay, now that we got the front sight off, we're going to remove the back sight, and to do that, I'm going to use this really cool XS Sights Glock sight pusher, and it's really a neat deal. So, and the way that's going to work is this goes right in here like so. You push your little brass pusher up until it fits in the slot. And you can tell it's in the slot because it's got a little narrow at the bottom of it. When that's done, put the little plastic wedge in here. This is just the simplest, least complicated sight pusher I've ever seen. And then not a lot of adjustments to make. And then basically we'll pull it back here, and we're just going to tighten this thing down and push that sight out. Have a little bit fancier one that is has a different handle on it, but this one works just fine. And there we go. You can see it's pushing the sight right out. It's out. There we go. Okay, now just want to degrease the old slide. I'm just going to use an alcohol prep pad. That's what I've always used in the past. And just to remove any oil or grease from this thing, get it cleaned up. And just do that. Do the front part here. So we got a little residue of the old Loctite apparently they put on here. And then we'll do the inside here just to be sure. And then we're just going to let that alcohol evaporate out of here and dry. And I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of the new sights too, just to remove any oil from my hands or anything else there. Same thing with the new front sight. Now let that dry for a minute and we'll start installing these sights. Okay, so we're going to start with the front sight. I'm going to pull the back side out of the way for a minute so it doesn't get knocked around. And you'll notice on this front sight, hopefully you can see that, there's two ways to identify which direction this goes. First, you can see it has a little bit of a slant to it. So one end of the fiber optic tube is a little higher than the other one. And then also you can see that the nut is closer to one end than the other, the screw is. So we're going to put that on towards the front. So when this thing is, as it is oriented, the high side is going to be towards you and the towards the shooter, and the low side towards the muzzle. So I'm going to take and use the sight tool, test fit it, make sure it goes in. So it's going to be just like that, low side to the front, and then you got your hole back there. You don't need to do anything yet other than just put the screw in the hole. And if you got older eyes like I do, you might need a little light. We'll just stick the old Surefire stiletto in my mouth and go from there. How about that? I spent a lot of time with this thing in my mouth. Okay, I got it. Barely snug, barely snug. Just want to do that and then kind of line it up, make sure it's straight. And I just use my eyeballs. I guess if you really want to get serious, you could get a micrometer or something, but I don't worry about that. I just try to get it kind of as straight as I can see. Let's try again. A little tighter so it doesn't wall around on me. Now, I think it's right there. Yep. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen that show Monk on TV, but I kind of feel like Mr. Monk, when I'm doing these kind of things. But it's like I keep readjusting to get it just right. But now I'm gonna hold down tightly and just get this thing finger tight. That's all you want is finger tight. Because you get it too tight, again, those little screws can break. Now, I'll take some red Loctite, and you can buy a tube of this from them for like $2 or whatever when you order your sights. That's all on their website. And I'm just going to put some around the perimeter here. And we'll everywhere it touches. And you don't have to put any on the back on the nut or screw or anything like that. And it's gonna basically, it'll soak in underneath there. We'll let that sit about 10 minutes, and then we can take a Q-tip and clean it up. Okay, so don't worry about being too neat with it. Now we want to put, while that's drying, we're going to put the rear sight on. Hopefully you can see this, but one end of this rear sight has a slight little notch in it. That's to help you get it in place. So again, you want to orient it with the anti-glare lines on the back and the angle facing towards the front, and then you find which side's got the little angle. On this one, you can see this one. It's got this little crush that's on here, which helps you put it in, and keep it tight. So start the angled side in and push it in as far as you can with your hand. You should be able to get it about a third of the way in like that. Now, once again, this is where you use the tool and the wedge, like so. Push that up like. Actually, we need to back it up just a little because we want this to line up with the notch. The side is a little offset from the notch. So there we go. We're going to start it looks about right. And just push it in. And once it starts getting most of the way in there, you want to make sure you get it nice and even. Left to right. And get it pretty close. I'm going to back this thing out a little bit so I can look at it. What do you think? Get where you can see it from maybe profile. I could Mr. Monk this thing for a long time, but I really don't see a significant difference. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe. Here I go. Just to, I think maybe I need to push it back this way. Just a smidge, a very, very little smidge. So, yep, I'm going to call that good. Now, the next step is going to be to, same thing, put the Loctite around it everywhere it touches. There's little, very, very thousandths of an inch gaps and stuff in there, whatever. Just want it to be able to soak down in there, seep down in there. And you don't have to clean this off. I'm not super fastidious about mine. Most of mine, you can see the kind of a residue of Loctite around them, because it's not a piece of jewelry to me. It's a tool. But no shame if you want to clean yours up better. We'll let this sit for a minute and then we'll clean it up. Okay, got the front clean. We'll go ahead and wipe out the back. Now this is the sight picture we have. You can see it's a very bright sight in light, in daylight or light. Compare that to the big dot, which for me is the easiest, and that's just to dot the eye. But if you're doing a lot of competition or target shooting, you know, bullseye type shooting, you might prefer this. Chuck Norris can do a wheelie on a unicycle. Okay, as my pastor would say in closing, that was a hopefully concise look at the new XS sights, fiber optic sights. And if you like fiber optics, I encourage you to check these out. Again, these are only for Glock pistols. Hopefully soon they'll be having some for other versions. And they're very clear to point out that these are really designed for bright light, daylight type situations. They're not going to be as bright at night. So they're honest and open on their website, if you go there, about the comparison and pros and cons between fiber optic and tritium type sights. So, but these do have the potential, if you're looking for like more accuracy for competition maybe, or bullseye shooting, you really want to get precise with it. Or if you're just really comfortable with notch and post sights, these could be a good choice for you for daylight. But if you're looking for night sights, I would recommend and you really like the notch and post, I'd recommend the XS sights F8s, because they have the best of both worlds. They have that pretty good sized dot in the front with the tritium and the glowing, you know, the whatever you call it, the luminescent surrounding, but yet they are very robust and they've got that big dot. So either way, XS sights absolutely rock the house. Again, you save 15%. SOP 15 at your website. And I hope this video has been helpful. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.